All right, let's just jump right in. Marketing, right? It can feel like you're lost in a jungle sometimes. So complex, always shifting. But what if I told you there's a simple map, a compass to get you through it all? That's exactly what we're diving into today, the 4M framework. Think of it as your clear path to success.
So, let me ask you something, and be honest. Have you ever put your heart and soul into a marketing campaign you were so sure it was going to be a home run, and then nothing? Just crickets? You spent the time, the money, the creative energy, and the results are just flat? It's so frustrating, right? And trust me, you are not alone in feeling that.
And that, right there, is the heart of the problem. I mean, the market today is just so noisy, so hyper-competitive. It's ridiculously easy to just blow through your budget and have nothing to show for it. Every time you miss that connection, that's a real opportunity just gone. But there is a better way, a way to get focused and bring some real clarity to what you're doing. And this is it. This is the solution. It's called the 4M Matters Framework. Seriously, think of this as your North Star, your strategic compass. It's a proven method that forces you to lock in on 4 super critical elements. First, your market. That's who you're talking to. Then your marketing. That's your actual plan. Then the medium. Where are you going to talk to them? And finally, the message. What are you going to say? Get these 4 things in sync, and I'm telling you, it's a game changer.
Okay, so let's start with the first M. And honestly, it's the most important one, your market. There's a reason it comes first. This isn't just some box you check off, it is the literal foundation of your entire strategy. Like building a house, if this foundation is cracked, everything you build on top of it is just gonna crumble.
Yeah, it sounds like something out of an old philosophy book, right? Know thy audience. But wow, it has never been more true than it is today. If you don't really get who you're talking to on a deep level, then the cleverest campaign in the world is just noise. It's just static. This idea is the guiding light for everything else we're about to talk about.
And that's exactly why you can't skip market research. It is non-negotiable. It's how you figure out what's really keeping your customers up at night, their actual pain points. It's how you learn who they are, how they buy things, what trends are coming next. Seriously, without this data, you're not marketing. You're just guessing. You're throwing darts in the dark.
Now this is where it gets really powerful. Segmentation. So instead of just shouting into a giant faceless crowd, you start talking to smaller, specific groups. Think about it. A fitness brand doesn't just market to people who like to work out. No way. They get specific. They might use psychographics to find, say, eco-conscious yogis who really care about sustainability. Or they'll use behavioral data to find people who bought from us before but haven't been back in 6 months. See? Each of those groups needs a totally different message, and that's how you become way more effective.
All right, so once we've got a rock-solid understanding of our market, the next step just flows naturally. We're on to the second M, marketing. This is where we actually build the blueprint for action. We know who we're trying to reach. Now the question is, how are we going to do it? This is your strategy. And a really solid way to frame this strategy is with the classic 4 Ps. It's all about asking the right questions. Is your product actually what your market needs? Does it solve their problem? Is your price something they're willing to pay? Is the place, where you sell, convenient for them? And finally, promotion. How are you going to get the word out? These are the fundamental building blocks of a great plan.
And let's be real, in the world we live in now, that promotion piece, it's pretty much all digital, right? This means you have to be findable on Google. That's your SEO. It means you're building real relationships through email. And, of course, you're creating a community and a conversation on social media.
And hey, if you needed any convincing that this digital stuff matters, just look at this number. HubSpot found that businesses with a solid digital strategy see 2.8 times more revenue growth. I mean, that's nearly 3 times the growth. So the takeaway here is crystal clear. This isn't some nice-to-have extra. This is a core driver of your business's success. Okay, let's recap. We know our market. We've got our marketing blueprint. But a blueprint is just a piece of paper, right? You need the tools to actually build the house. And that brings us to our third M, the medium. This is your megaphone. This is all about picking the perfect channels to get your message out there, so people actually hear it. And really, the big question you have to ask yourself is simple. Where does my audience hang out online? Where do they live? You have to go where they are. Think about it. Are they scrolling TikTok for a laugh, or are they on LinkedIn trying to get smarter about their industry? Every platform has a different vibe, a different purpose, and you've got to pick the one that makes sense for your audience.
And this slide just lays it out perfectly. It all comes down to your audience. If you're selling directly to consumers, B2C,
then a visual, high-energy platform like Instagram or TikTok is probably your best bet. But if you're selling to other businesses, B2B, then LinkedIn is hands down the place to be to build that professional trust.
But here's the catch. You can't just pick one channel and call it a day anymore. That's not how it works. A multi-channel approach is absolutely key. Your customers are in a lot of different places, so you need to be there too, creating a consistent vibe and a strong presence wherever they might find you. Which brings us to the final piece of the puzzle, the fourth M, and you could argue this is the real heart of everything, your message. This is what you actually say. It's the voice, the words, the story of your campaign. So, what makes a message really land? You've got to ask yourself these questions. First, does it actually solve a problem for someone? Is it helpful? Second, does it connect on an emotional level or a purely logical one? And finally, does it make your brand stand out from the crowd? Is it clear? Is it concise? And most importantly, is it authentic to who you are?
And here's a huge point. Whatever that message is, it has to be consistent everywhere. Your tone of voice, what you stand for, it needs to feel the same on Instagram and an email, on your website, everywhere. Because that's how you build trust. That consistency is what creates a strong, memorable brand.
Okay, let's pull all of this together. We've talked about each M on its own, but the real magic, the secret sauce, is when they all work together in perfect harmony. They stop being just a list of things to do, and they become this powerful, humming engine that just drives your growth.
So, to boil it all down, it's really just 4 simple questions. Market, who are you talking to? Marketing, how are you going to reach them? Medium, where are you going to talk to them? And message, what are you going to say? That's it. That's the framework. Answering these 4 things gives you your roadmap. And when you get all 4 of those things, market, marketing, medium, and message, all aligned, all firing on all cylinders, you create this incredible momentum. It's not just a bunch of random marketing tactics anymore. It becomes this powerful, self-sustaining engine that just pushes your business forward. So, as we finish up here, I want to leave you with one question to really think about for your own work. Look at these 4 M's. Which one right now needs the most work? Where's your biggest opportunity? Is it getting to know your market better? Is it sharpening your marketing plan? Is it finding the right medium? Or is it nailing down that perfect message? Because I promise you, your next big win is waiting inside the answer to that question.